The galaxy was a vast, uncharted frontier, teeming with alien species far more advanced than humanity could ever hope to be. But there was one thing the alien civilizations couldn't anticipate: the relentless will of humankind. In the year 2354, Earth had forged alliances with various interstellar empires, some friendly, others reluctantly accepting humanity's presence in their domains. But among the more dominant species, humanity was often seen as a mere curiosity, a primitive race, loud, brash, and remarkably adaptive. They were underestimated, as usual. But on the night of the Grand Conclave, held on the station of Zel 4, the largest and most influential intergalactic summit, the attitude of the universe towards humans was about to shift dramatically. The conclave had representatives from the most feared races in the galaxy: Saurians, the insectoid conquerors; Zothkri, the enigmatic telepathic traders; and the Kothrix, a race of genetically perfected warriors who had never lost a battle in centuries. Humans, meanwhile, were represented by a handful of diplomats and soldiers, out of place and seemingly insignificant among the towering, multi-limbed beings around them. But they had something the others did not: an insatiable drive to conquer and adapt, regardless of how impossible the challenge seemed. Zara Quinlan, a brilliant tactician from Earth, found herself standing at the heart of a debate hall, surrounded by towering alien figures. The debate was heated, as tensions over intergalactic trade routes and the proper allocation of resources reached a boiling point. But Zara was not focused on politics. She was focused on something much more pressing: her mission. "I propose an agreement." Zara's voice cut through the murmur of alien voices. "A pact that ensures humanity's future role in the galaxy." The room quieted, alien heads swiveling in her direction. "What kind of pact?" asked a Kothrix ambassador, his voice laced with disdain. "One that benefits your species?" "No," Zara replied, her gaze locking with his. "One that benefits every species here, but one in which humanity takes the lead." A ripple of disbelief ran through the room. The arrogance of humans was well known, but this was something new. It wasn't just arrogance. It was a boldness that no one had seen before. "We will mate with any alien species we choose," Zara continued, her voice steady, her eyes never wavering, "and nothing can stop it." The room exploded into chaos. The Zothkri immediately launched into telepathic conversations, their minds racing to comprehend the implications of her words. The Kothrix stood in silent rage, fists clenched, their enhanced muscles rippling. The Saurians hissed, their mandibles snapping as they glared at Zara. It was unheard of. The idea of humanity boldly claiming the right to mate with any species in the galaxy was a direct challenge to every cultural and biological norm. But Zara wasn't done. She stepped forward, her presence commanding the attention of every being in the room. "You see," she said, her voice like steel, "humans are not bound by your rules. We will adapt, we will survive, and we will thrive in ways you never imagined. And if that means taking your genes, your strengths, your best traits, then so be it. The future of this galaxy is humanity's to shape, and we won't ask." The alien representatives faltered. In the back of their minds, a fear began to form, one they didn't fully understand. For all their intelligence, their advanced technology, and their superior biology, they had never encountered a species with such tenacity. Humans had a drive, a hunger, an overwhelming will to dominate and evolve that was impossible to extinguish. Zara continued, "This galaxy has underestimated us for far too long, but now you'll see. We will bond with your people, merge our strengths, and we will lead the galaxy, together, whether you like it or not." The silence that followed was deafening. Then the Kothrix ambassador stepped forward, his posture rigid. "You dare to challenge us? We have existed for millennia, perfected our species, and you think you can simply take what we have?" Zara smiled. "You don't get it. We're not taking, we're offering. Humanity has mastered the art of integration, biologically, emotionally, and intellectually, and every species in this room will benefit from it, whether you accept it now or later." The tension was palpable, but then something unexpected happened. A Zothkri, the tallest of them all, approached. His mind reached out to Zara, pushing through the mental barriers in an attempt to overwhelm her. She felt the touch, sharp and invasive, but she did not flinch. Instead, she reached back with a strength he had not anticipated. "You're not the only ones who can adapt, Zofkree," she said, her voice cutting through his telepathic assault. "We've been training for this." The alien's mind recoiled. A moment of silence passed before he finally spoke aloud, his voice hoarse. "You speak with such certainty. Perhaps we have underestimated you." The Kothrix and Zorians exchanged wary glances. Zara's words were seeping into their minds, planting seeds of doubt, and despite their hatred for her species' audacity, they could not deny the raw, unyielding power that radiated from the humans. No alien species had ever dared to speak to them like this before. No one had ever threatened their way of life with such unrelenting conviction. The Kothrix ambassador, now visibly shaken, finally nodded. Perhaps it is time to reconsider our stance on humanity's role in the galaxy." Zara's lips curled into a triumphant smile. "The future is already ours," she said.